everyone, and welcome back to the Pop Off the Clock Book Club edition. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Jocelyn. We're happy to be here and start off the new year with a book we've been pending on.
Absolutely. We apologize. Obviously, we are still not set up in our studio. A lot is changing that we will update you all on. We still have plans to continue this, but we just wanted all our book club members to, understand how we felt about the book from December, which is, Jocelyn, what book was that?
It's A Winter in New York. Winter in New York, guys, by Josie Silver. It was just a nice way to end the year, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did a lot of interesting books last year. We did, biographies, like hard stories, emotional stories, and mysteries. And we just kind of wanted to end 2023. And of course, it's the Christmas season, so we had to go for something a little Christmas themed. But we always start off these things by giving you all our ratings of the book 1 through 5. So, Yos, what do you score this book?
1 through 5. I want to say 4.7.
Okay.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I want to say, okay, so Yos read the book for reference.
Yes, I
did the audiobook this time around, so we had a little Freaky Friday moment. I have to give it at least a 3.5, just because the audiobook, I respect whoever did the voicing of the audiobook 1,000%, but it was a little bit hard for me to enjoy 1,000%. So that was I gave the rating 4.
A 4?
That's a 4 for me.
Okay.
It's a 4 for me.
You said your audio person was British, which the main character is British.
Yeah, she's British, so...
I always forgot that about the book until she would kind of say something about London. I'm like, oh, wow.
No, it was very evident, the entire time that she was British. The name Bellotti, that's what I would hear all of the time. What's his name again? It's... Gio Bellotti.
Okay.
Just go with that. That's how I would hear it all of the time. So it was sometimes even hard to understand what she was saying just because of the accent. So that was my only tiff with it. But I respect that they kept it obviously true to who the character was. So.
Yes. Every time I would remember that she was British and I remember you did the audiobook, I'm like, I wonder how British accent and a Italian New Yorker accent is just how do they communicate?
It was so bad when she would do his voice.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. It was really, really hard.
Because it's just hey, yo, Gio.
No, actually need to show it to you so you can understand. But of course, we always have our book club questions on hand. This is a little icebreaker question that we're going to throw in there. What is your favorite gelato or ice cream flavor?
If you read the book, you know why we're asking this. Okay, favorite ice cream. This is a really tough question for me because I'm not a sweets girl and I'm lactose intolerant. So ice cream, if I want to indulge, I love a good Rocky Road. But I always end up getting strawberry. Just, nothing too fancy. And if it's a gelato or something fancy, I love that one that's cheesecake and a raspberry swirl in it. It's something, I like something fruity, and so that sister would have been my pick.
So something sweet,
yes,
with
fruity
fruit. Okay,
tangy,
got you. I honestly like the basics. I love me a vanilla flavor, and
vanilla
also,
forever.
Yeah, but I'm vanilla, and that's actually not an insult anymore. Did you know that? Vanilla girl, that to us millennials mean oh, she's so basic, she's vanilla. But for young people now, vanilla is a style. Did you know that?
No.
It's when you have light hair and you enjoy cozy sweaters and cute little drinks and are Instagrammable. That's vanilla now.
Oh.
So I guess I'm a vanilla girl in the
in
the original context of the word. I like strawberry, but I also what's that? I love Ben and Jerry's creations.
Okay.
I do like their creations, but I think I'm more of an ice cream person than a gelato because gelato is pretty intense.
It is. And I can only do like one scoop.
The flavor profiles.
Yes.
But I actually forgot we do read the synopsis of the book for all those people that are not familiar with what this book is about. I am actually in the middle of looking at because, like I said, I did an audiobook. So.
I'll let her look that up. But again, like I have found myself reading these books and audiobooks on Libby, and I recommend everyone get that book and go to your public library, get a library book,
a library card.
And with your card, you could register on this Libby book, and it just gives you access to the libraries, like digital.
And libraries are free, guys.
Yeah.
These things are free. Okay, so synopsis. A young chef stumbles on a secret family recipe that might lead her to the love and life she's been looking for in this stunning novel. When Iris decides to move to New York to restart her life, she realizes she underestimated how big the Big Apple really is. All the nostalgic movies set in New York she'd watch with her mom while eating their special secret recipe gelato didn't quite do it justice. But Bobby, Iris's friend, isn't about to let her hide away. He drags her to a famous autumn street fair in Little Italy, and as they're walking through the food stalls, a little family-run gelateria catches her eye. Could it be the same shop that in an old photo of her mother's that it had? Curious, Iris returns the next day and meets the handsome Gio, who tells her that the shop is in danger of closing. His uncle, sole keeper of their family gelato recipe, is in a coma, so they can't make more. When Iris samples the latest batch, she realizes that their gelato and her gelato are one and the same. But how can she tell them that she knows their secret recipe when she's not sure why Gio's uncle gave it to her mother in the first place? Iris offers her service as a chef to help them recreate the flavor and finds herself falling for Gio and his family. But when Gio's uncle finally wakes up, all of the secrets Iris has been keeping threaten to ruin their new life and love, and she's building all winter long.
I really like this story. One of the things in the story was that two living people know the recipe at a time.
Yeah.
Who was the second person? I lost because the uncle was sick. It had dementia, or his dad Santos.
I think that they were under the impression that her mom still lived. Because remember, they were surprised when she told them that she had died.
Mm-hmm.
I think they.
But so no one knew the mom had it.
Oh, okay. How they're mentioning two people. I'm not sure, actually. They never really explained that.
Because they did say, another person, but I didn't really get that part.
But yeah, it felt very Hallmark movie.
Oh, 100%.
That's why I enjoyed it, because it felt like I was watching a Christmas movie every day that I was listening to this book.
And I was just like, oh my God, girl, just tell them.
I know. I was like, why are you putting yourself through this unnecessary drama?
Why are you putting them? Their business is at risk.
Just be honest. Who cares? Okay, so next question. It's clear from the beginning of the novel that Iris is rebuilding her life. Did anything surprise you about Iris? If so, what?
It was interesting how we met the characters on that Valentine's Day, which I was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess there is that kind of, teasing of her that she was running away from something or someone. And I figured it was going to be some abusive or toxic relationship. I think it would have been maybe not better. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know why it was such a big deal that it was her boyfriend, not her husband. And
oh my God. I was like, I wanted to kill her when she was like, but I told him when I first met him that was my widow. I was a widow. And I'm like, girl, you did not know him.
Yeah, you didn't know him.
He was a stranger.
Yeah.
She feels so terrible about telling him this lie. But it's like, I tell lies to strangers all the time. What does it matter?
You owe you could have just cleared up. And I feel like that's an honest thing. Well, he's dead to me, not literally dead.
Exactly.
I feel like fine. But anything no, I didn't think anything surprised me. I figured something was gonna be bad. I did think it was gonna be maybe physical, but apparently it wasn't. It was just emotional and financial. Not that it's less, but it was a little relief that I'm like, okay, at least she didn't have a physical abusive relationship. But I think it was spot on and kind of how you follow along.
What surprised me was how ridiculous she could be sometimes. I'm like, girl, I know this is for the book because there has to be that drama, but it's kind of
Like, do you really need to go live in a storage unit?
I know.
I don't know.
Relax.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like, watch we're in her same position and we act the same way.
How is Iris different from her mother? How is she similar?
So I think obviously similar looks-wise and talent-wise.
Oh, yeah.
And I think deep down hopeless romantic. I think she is a product of what her mother... You know, like, you see those people that are like, I don't want to be like my parents. The whole, like, unstable household, not having family. I think that's what she tried to, like, be opposite of her mother. Because her mother just seemed, like, you know, like, the Gio's dad. He was absent his whole life. Thankfully, her mother was not absent, but as an adult, she realized that her mom was struggling financially and, like, probably barely keeping a roof over their head, getting odd jobs, not really having family because she decided she wanted to try to be a rock star.
Yeah. I think she really learned a lot from her mom's, not mistakes, but her mom's decisions on how to run away. I know that right away she did. It was kind of like that flight initiative with this situation specifically. But I'm glad that she listened and was able to stay. I mean, this is like literally a whole family who is embracing you, and you are just trying to escape it it was literally no reason. It's just like, don't follow your mom's mistakes of just leaving when you know something could have been good there. Like,
I think Maria's position in the story, even though she's not, like, you don't hear a lot from her, I think her being present there played a big part in that, because I think she looked up to what Maria was as a mother and didn't want to hurt her either, be like, I'm the reminder of, like, the girl that could have stolen your husband.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think there's something definitely probably the author, like, subconsciously kind of had there with that storyline.
Alrighty.
Who was your favorite character and why?
I really liked her friends.
I knew you were going to say that.
Her neighbors. What's their name? I just mentioned
Bobby?
I just remembered one of their names. Yeah, Bobby and his husband. I love them. They were so cute. Like, I love how they embraced. I forgot the origins of how they ran. I think she worked at his restaurant, right? And that's how they met. I just really loved their friendship. I think that he was, even when her ex came.
Oh, he's like, oh, hell no.
Little mouse. That's how it sounded. Oh, it was, don't even get me started on that guy. Yeah, they're my favorites.
Him? Okay. I think I liked Gio.
Yeah, I like Gio too.
I think he was just like a man's man.
He was so cute.
Yeah. And even though he in his head, he's like, you know, I have to be a provider. I have to take, I don't think it was everything. I don't think he ever, like, not wanted to be that. It's not like he got forced into that role of leading the family, taking over the business, raising his daughter, being, like, you know, the older brother to these 3 other girls. I think he, like, wants that, and he took it seriously, and I really like that. Like,
yeah,
that
he's a good character. Also, his sister, I liked his sister too, and the friendship that Iris and them had. What do you think about Iris keeping all her secrets from Gio?
I thought it was dumb.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It was
especially the ex-boyfriend thing that she referred to her ex as her ex-husband that died, even though she was just running away from an abusive. Like, I feel like that's fair to be like, hey, I lied to you because you were a stranger and I didn't want to, like, divulge all this information of, like, me being in an abusive relationship the first time we met. I believe that's fair. I think after she kind of, I feel that the stress and the issue that the family was going through, that they didn't know the recipe and their business was in jeopardy, I think that would have, like, overpowered the fact that, like, oh, who, you know, the mom and the Santos giving the recipe, I feel like, yeah, would cause issue, but I think at the end, the gratitude and the relief that they felt, knowing that their livelihood is not in jeopardy, would have been bigger than their anger towards an old fling that probably wasn't that, well, I don't want to say it wasn't nothing, but it was a fling.
That's my thing. Like, yes, you know the recipe. You could have been like, I know the recipe. My mom found out. I don't know how this happened. Here it is.
Bye.
I don't know how this happened. And yeah, obviously, we learned the depths of that relationship. And it was kind of, for Santos, a little like, I don't know if we should talk about that. But
and Gio didn't have to tell Mary.
Yeah.
He could have just been like, I found the recipe.
No, yeah, but also it's been years since that relationship. Like, what impact is it gonna have now? Like, I'm sure doubt Maria, right?
Maria, yeah.
I doubt Maria is gonna be like, I cannot believe you were with somebody 40 years ago. Like, come on.
Unless
like,
it's
be
like
realistic.
I would have loved to know if Maria was like, I knew about her and I knew that happened and we talked about it, or like, oh, he always mentions this girl's name when he's asleep.
But even when Santos was like, maybe you should leave. Like, what the hell, Santos?
Santos. But then he starts off like, oh, any daughter of Vivian could sit at my table. And it's like, but you need to go.
Yeah, I thought that was like so ridiculous. So I think, obviously the story was based off of those lies. That's the only way the story would have moved forward.
Absolutely.
So it had to happen
It's
that
the drama.
way. Yeah,
but it was just kind of like, you dumb girl. For much of the novel, Iris is healing from the emotional abuse of her ex, Adam. How does her past influence her present decisions?
I mean, obviously that's the reason why she went to New York. She was fleeing that situation. And I really am proud of her and how she addressed the end result with that relationship, which is like, go away. And I love that.
Yeah, I'm glad she wasn't like, oh, I you know, it could have been like, yeah, I need to get back to him because he's the only person that would love me. It was very much like, no, we're done, but you are danger, so I just need to stay away from you. So I did like that. I do think that, I don't know, I'm glad that her past relationships didn't affect how, like, intimate and Gio got and Harry got. Like, it just seemed like she just found a good guy, and there was never really anything her character questioning, like, Gio's intentions because of her past. She always knew he was a good guy and was obviously grateful and in disbelief that a man like this existed, but I don't think she ever projected anything
from her
onto
past
him.
relationships onto other people. No, it was just on herself. She was just really hard on herself the whole time. And I love that scene or that final moment where everyone's like, and we stand for her, and we stand for her.
I was very, I think, did you cry? I cried.
I thought it was cute. Like, towards the end, I was like, oh.
No, you know when I cried in both of the, which leads us to our next question. What did you think of Vivian's point of view from the 1980s? What are your thoughts on Vivian and Santos?
I would have loved to read a Vivian and Santos book. I think their story was so cute. It would be a cute movie of like, you know, like that final moment when she sees him and Gio runs up to.
I cried on both. I cried when she was young and she left him and she's like, I have to be a rock star. That was so sad because he like made her feel better when he was obviously heartbroken by it. And then on her second point of view where she goes and she's like, oh, I hope he like, I hope he waited for me, not that she was expecting it, and then to come and that he has like a whole family. And I was just like,
I'm honestly really curious about like, so they established that the father of Iris is in the band with Vivian, and it was like the guitar player, whatever. Why don't we know more about that? Like, I don't know. I was just so curious about that.
I just read it in a way that was like, it was just a fling hookup, and she got pregnant, and it was just like, well, I'm not like gonna give up the baby, and he just still wanted to be a rock star, but an absentee father, and kind of just like, I think he died in a freak accident, right? He was just never involved.
We just never really heard a lot about him, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. But
which kind of cut this. Honestly, I feel like cut that storyline of possible like super bad daddy issues for her. It was just like me and my mom. That's all I've never known. It's not me and my mom and my dad that comes in and out since we were like 15 or whatever. It was always just like me and my mom. My dad was not present and then he died when I was young. So that's all I know. Which I think just made the importance of her mom's relationship in her life a little bit more. Oh, and then I think I also cried when she was at Christmas and she was just like.
I also thought it was sweet the part where she goes to the what's the storage unit and she starts looking at all those pictures of her mom and the video of like the moment she found out that she's having a baby. Like
that was sweet. But yeah,
I would really love to see this as a movie. Like
it's
honestly,
such a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it's like a advanced Hallmark movie because it actually has a plot line that's good.
Yeah. I feel like this could be like a Netflix, like those rom-coms they kind of drop during Christmas.
Like Lindsay Lohan doing a rom-com. Here's your here's your
Who would you
iris.
cast? Who would you cast?
I don't know. It has to be someone British, obviously.
Who's British?
Florence Pugh? I doubt she would do it. Lily Collins is British.
Is she? No, she's not. I think her dad is. I don't think she is.
Oh, she isn't?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Then maybe
Emily
not.
In Paris.
Emily in
that
Paris.
show, by the way. I don't know. I think it would be new kids, like fresh faces.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely fresh.
I really
well,
just...
wait, kids. She's in her 30s and he's in his 40s. So it
they're
would
not
be...
gonna have...
It would...
Oh,
it would
yeah,
be
yeah.
like,
It'll be like actual... It is...
Gio should be the guy from 365 Days.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one who was interested in Chloe for that second.
Yeah.
That's an interesting Gio
That
selection.
Would be Gio, I pick you, Gio. I think his name is Michelle. Michelle something.
Michelle.
Uh-huh.
I really don't know who I'd cast, but I think this is such a good story. I mean, honestly, we were kind of like, we'll see how this one goes. But it was...
Yeah, we wanted to wrap the year with like an easy read, something like, aw.
And this one was actually like better than I expected it to be.
You know what I also kind of liked about it? The fact that she was in her 30s, like early 30s, and he was in his late 30s, heading 40, which like... I don't know, maybe because we're closer to that age that I was just like, oh, like, I take it serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, dumb 22-year-old doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. No. And I thought his daughter was also great, too. The part that made me cringe is when they went to go sing at that school
talent show. I was like... Oh, God. No, I think the Central Park one also made me cringe, too.
What happened there?
When she just sang and went viral. She's like, oh, and her voice was cracking. And did she sing in the audiobook?
No, kind of.
Okay.
It's just like, oh, I forgot how that part went. But also, how did her ex find her? YouTube is like the biggest.
But he DM'd the little girl.
Because he saw the video.
And then he, like, found the little girl and DM'd her, being like, hey, I'm a friend of Iris. Like, do you have her number?
That's true.
First of all, that little girl needs to not answer these
I know.
messages.
My parents would not have even let me had a YouTube like that. But, yeah, good book if you all want to pick it up. Obviously, it's not Christmas anymore, but you can do it anytime.
Yes.
And as far as our book club and the pod, we will continue to keep you updated on that because there is a lot going on right now here in our parts. But... yeah.
Yeah. And you could always just, if you haven't read all the books you read, the episodes are there available for you to look back or send us book recommendations.
Yeah.
I know we're still reading, even though we're not doing the book club. We're
still reading our books. But yeah, hopefully we inspired you guys to maybe make reading your New Year's resolution.
By the way, that means
we accomplished our New Year's resolution. We read at least 12 books last year, which I'm very happy about.
Me too. It's something I bring up in conversations now. But yeah, well, thanks for listening. Not to brag. Thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to follow us on social media because that's where we'll keep you updated as we go through this little crazy phase. Yes. But once we're back, we'll be better than ever.
Woohoo! Bye, guys.